No, but there we go.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Readings with Penelope and D'Arcy. And tonight, I think we're going to play it a little bit by ear. So, just in case you're on late, we'll probably repeat ourselves here and there. But one of the things I would like to point out, if we read for you and you can't hear it or you've missed because you've had a misconnect with your internet, then I am going to encourage you to go back and watch it later because the message will be there for you. Well, Penelope, how are you today?
I am doing well. I'm just sending this off to a couple friends.
Okay.
Know we are alive and well.
Yes, and we're not just live on Facebook, we're also live on YouTube. So it is hitting a variety of clientele.
Mm-hmm.
Well, hello, Amanda. How are you?
Hello, Amanda.
So, and
and hello, Faye.
Okay, I don't see Faye yet. Oh, there she is. Hello, Faye. So tonight, I'm going to ask Penelope a couple of questions, maybe one or two, I should say, before we get started. So I know with myself, a lot of times I do have the tarot cards, and I do use them, and I have crystals and everything on the side. Plus, I have my pendulum that I'll use and everything. And sometimes I'll just sit here and knit as I talk to people. So, Penelope, I'm wondering, when you're not using tarot cards, is there any other instrument that you would use?
Sometimes I use crystals. And hi, Tracy. Oops, I just lost you guys.
Oh, where'd you go? Okay, it must be your connection.
It's what happened here.
I don't know. Back out and try to come back in. There you are. Oh, now we lost her again. So we have to wait for her to come back. But Penelope will be back. That's just way too weird. And there, wait, add to stream. There she is. Look at that. I found her again. You must have. Hey.
I don't know what happened. All of a sudden, it went black.
Well, maybe we have a couple of spooks that are working tonight.
Okay, now, hi again, everyone. In answer to that question, I use crystals. The crystals are mostly things I suggest to people for healing, or it comes in the form of a message. When I'm doing telephone readings, ironically enough, I make a cup of tea. I have my cards with me. I sometimes use the cards. Well, I always use the cards and send pictures, but sometimes I just take the moment to figure out who it is and what it is they're trying to say. I sometimes use music before people are coming, just to be able to clear my head and open other connections.
Yeah, and I know that if I'm doing a reading and say my whole day is going to be full of readings, then what I do is I'll sage first thing in the morning, and then I'll sage as the day goes on. And I like to clear my space. And I do use the crystals as well. Like I have a lot of them. And they just sit in my shelf, but I'll pull one out sometimes and I'll play with it. So the other thing I was wondering, Penelope, is when you do your readings, do you find whether, depending on the person or the situation, that you get drained?
Not for me, but then I have all sorts of guards and things I do in place. I very much believe in psychic vampires, you know, and energy vampires. Before I forget, though, hello Teresa and hello Tracy, Amanda,
Oh yeah,
Cindy.
gonna go through all
Kathy.
of them here in a minute.
I just wanted to say
And
hi because there are ones I sent messages to. But for me, before reading, I always smudge, but I also smudge several times a day. I picture myself in a place where there is running water and where I can focus on the sound of water and ask water to help me so that any negative energy that someone is bringing in through a reading is kept pretty much away.
yeah, that's about the rule of thumb for me too.
It's taken me a couple of years to master that, but in the beginning, yes, people could just physically or emotionally drain me.
Okay. Yes. I mean, I'm totally there with the psychic vampire, psychic energy drainer. And it's really hard sometimes because I can some days read for 10 people. And the next day I could read for one and I'm flat on my back in bed going, just leave me alone. I need to sleep. So ladies, we are going to do as usual. We're going to pull a card for you. And Penelope might be your connection because you just went black for a second.
Oh.
And so check to make sure it's plugged in.
Yeah.
So we're going to pull cards and we'll take turns. Right now, there's not a lot of people so that's okay. So we can probably both do each person. But if we start getting the usual crowd coming, we're going to limit to Penelope doing one person and myself doing another. Okay, because I'd like to get you all in that hour zone and I don't want to cut people off. And once again, for those of you who are here, if you hear your name and we're talking about your card or what we're hearing or seeing, and you don't hear it, you can replay this later. That's the beauty of live broadcast because it's being recorded and you can hear it later. Okay, so Penelope, Amanda.
Oh,
let's pull for Amanda.
Okay, well, I'm going to master this yet. I'm using this really cool Shadowscapes. Whoops, there it is. My sister bought me these for my birthday this year. And I haven't actually had an opportunity to use them, although I've carried them around with me and they've traveled with me. So I'm going to pull a card and there we go. Whoops. And I love the artwork on these cards. They're so pretty and delicate. Not my usual style of cards, so it's been interesting. And this is the Seven of Pentacles. And I don't know if you look, but you notice like lots of things are coming towards you, different choices to make, different decisions, and guard your heart is the message I'm being given for you.
Okay, and the other thing about the Seven of Pentacles is money, because I heard that song in my head, money, 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 a girl's best friend, which is true. Okay, so tonight I am using the Crystal Power Tarot, and it's a very nice deck, and it's subtle. That's the best way, like the coloring and everything is very subtle. But Amanda, I picked the Four of Swords, and this one has a little message. It says, I take the time I need to rediscover my vitality. But I also think it's about taking time to regenerate yourself, to maybe getting some sleep, maybe just downtime, listening to music, that type of thing. Okay, so I would definitely say there is that process. Okay, so Faye is next.
Okay, so Faye, I pulled for you the Emperor. Now, I love, like I said, these are kind of new cards for me, but I'm just in love with the artwork. You see there's this very strong male presence, but there's also this, the point of the Emperor is stand your ground. Do what you know what you need to do, and you know how to do it. It might be a tendency with women in our family to be a bit headstrong and lean on our more masculine side when decision making, but just stand your ground.
Okay, and I'm actually using another deck as well. So whichever deck says pull for me is what I'm using. and this is Divine Guidance. I bought, is this the one I bought for myself? Yes. I bought this for myself because my friend Marion bought me a deck from this lady, and so I collected all 3 of her decks. And I picked Blossoming. It's, let's see, there you go, Blossoming. Now, all it has is a number 37, but I think the nice yellow color, the awakening, the center core, sort of like, oh no, I can see it. Poppy. It reminds me of a poppy. So this could be November, but it's also about divine purpose and your higher awareness and being aware of everything that is going on around you, Faye. So I would say take your time and just see where life is taking you. Okay, Amanda, we've already read for Tracy. Hello, Tracy. And just so we'll go through the hello, Tracy, Teresa, Kathy, Cheyenne, and Lynn. And I saw Carol there too. So hello to everyone. We're not ignoring, it's just we're trying to go through everyone.
Okay, so Tracy, I pulled for you. Oops, there we go. The Chariot. Tracy, the Chariot talks about a journey. And although I know you because you're one of my closest friends, I also know that this card talks about being strong, staying on the path you're on, and knowing that you're going to succeed.
Okay. And I picked the 7 of Pentacles from my deck, and this is trust your instincts. Know that you're on the right path, and as you go through every step, one foot in front of the other to get to where you want to be, you are headed in the right direction, Tracy. That, yeah, maybe you falter a little bit, but don't worry. You're still going to get to that end line that you're hoping to. Okay, so next is Teresa.
Hi, Teresa. Oh, cool. Teresa, I picked, Justice. And Justice is this beautiful winged woman who is very strong and very capable and believes in being fair. And I know this tells me, the message I'm getting is that things might be a little bit of a struggle, but that you're going to come out and you're going to shine in the end.
Okay, and I picked the 9 of Cups. Trust in the flow of life. Trust that what you do pick, Teresa, is the joy, the happiness to put aside. And it doesn't mean you forget sorrow. It just means you choose not to be sorrowful. And it also feels like an awakening around you as well, Teresa. So there may be some news from a loved one that's going to be in touch, and it may be helping you make a decision around a direction you'd like to go in. Okay. So we have Kathy. I don't know. Can you see the comments?
Not
okay.
Only if I look at my phone. So
okay, that's okay. So we have Kathy, and she's saying hello, and she said she would appreciate a card reading. And D'Arcy, not sleeping is my only issue. I don't really believe that. Or does she mean not sleeping isn't her only issue?
Well, last night she was the one that ended up where you ended up giving 2 readings about, and the first one was about sleeping, needing more sleep.
Okay.
I can't remember what the second one was.
Me neither.
Favor.
Okay. Well, did you pull a card?
I did. I pulled the King of Pentacles. And I think that for the most part, I think you're right, Kathy. It is Kathy, right? I think
yes.
that you are doing okay. You've got some decisions you have to make, but I believe you're more than strong enough to make these decisions. I would ask that you get a good checkup. The message I'm getting is Pentacles make me think of medicine wheels. And medicine wheels make me think of women needing to go and get a checkup. You know, whether it's that you're going through the end of your moons, menopause, whatever it is, just go and make sure everything's in the right spot.
Okay. and I picked the awakening. All right, the all-seeing eye right there. And when this one is about divine plan, this is your role in the universe. It's also about awakening your gifts, your intuition, and it's opening up your heart center. And when a heart center is open, it can be flooded at times, and other times just little things will trickle in, Kathy. So when I look at this, I'm feeling that there is a cosmic shift around you, one that you may actually find falls into place better than you realized. And I know I'm not sure if I'm reading it wrong, but I do believe there are other issues around you, and it's more about time and patience, Kathy. And I agree with Penelope. If something's going on there, you should go get it checked. Mm-hmm. Okay. Cheyenne is saying howdy, but we can pull her a card. And I know that last night Cheyenne was asking about spirit guides and if we could give names. And it's a little harder because you really do have to concentrate. And it takes a little time to find the name. And normally, in the process of asking, you sort of have to hear the name 3 times. And so when I'm looking at finding someone, their spirit names, it's like almost 15 minutes to half an hour. So the ones we do find here, they're coming in fast. But tonight, I think we're just going to stick with the cards. And I hope that's helpful to everyone. But Penelope, what do you pull for Cheyenne?
I pulled the Tower. And although Cheyenne, the Tower looks like it can be very intimidating because it shows, basically lightning bolts and the tower falling down. This is a time where it's time to level the playing field. It's how I always think about it. And you get to rebuild things the way you want to rebuild them. And you get to make the decisions to keep the things you want to keep and get rid of the things you don't want to keep.
Totally. Okay. And I picked 6 of Wands. And the 6 of Wands is about achieving and acquiring the rewards. And that can be emotional rewards. It doesn't have to be like a monetary reward. And it's knowing that you've done the right thing. And that the more you practice your intuition, the more those rewards on the intuitive level become known. All right. So we have Lynn, who says hello. Hi, Lynn.
Hi, Lynn.
And we can pull a card. And Amanda is saying thank you as well. Ooh, I picked the King of Wands. And this one, he sort of looks a little arrogant. But, Lynn, this is about you. And this is about you being confident in the decisions. And because of sunflowers, it may be there is something you're doing from now until September of next year, and that you have to maybe stop, pat yourself on the back and say good job, and to be open to the praise. That's what it feels like.
Okay, and for me, I had picked, just when D'Arcy did, I picked the Empress. And if you look at her, she's gathering from the sun. She's filling her basket with all the things and the rewards, like the fruition of her work. So I think that a lot of success is coming your way. And now's the time, just like D'Arcy said, pat yourself on the back, say job well done, and gather the things that you have earned.
And it's a lot of it's energy. To gather that energy and store it. And keeping in mind, we have 7 chakras. The heart chakra, to me, being, heart, solar plex, being the largest ones. And so making sure that if you overload it, you give some away in a nice way. And you're just open to love and joy coming towards you. So Carol, she's just saying she hopes me and my family, is that proper English, are well. And she's thanking me for a talk a few weeks back. And she says, everything is good. So I'd still like to pull a card for Carol. So Penelope, I'm going to let you go as I look for the card I think is appropriate for the situation.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah, which means if I don't like it, I'm putting it back.
I get such a kick out of that. The Two of Cups. And again, like I said, just beautiful, beautiful cards. Can't say enough about them. The Two of Cups is sort of like grounding yourself. Now's the time. When I look at it, I think of grounding yourself and being steady where you are and appreciating what you have and balancing, because balancing and grounding are pretty much the same thing and go hand in hand.
They are, but for me, balancing would be like on a tightrope and hoping that I'm not going to tilt over. At least grounding, I can dig my feet into the ground. But that's me. Okay. So see how one word can mean something else for someone entirely different. And that's why when we do the readings, if you're listening to this afterwards, you might hear something that either one of us have said, or when our brother and I are doing it, you might hear something and think, oh, that was for me. Well, then it could be. So I just want to remind everyone of that. So Carol, I picked number 16, and I sort of like it because it looks like two roads coming together in the distance with the colors swirling around it. And this is about keeping yourself focused on the outcome and the goal that you want to achieve. And so if everything's going great now, I'm saying that you aimed for the right direction and that you're going to find it begin to balance out a little more. There might be a little hiccup in November, around the 11th of November, but Carol, everything's going to be okay. So I would tell you to just keep moving forward, Carol. And I hope you and your family are good too, and that you all have a happy Thanksgiving. And that goes for everyone who's on here tonight, that you all have a happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So Elaine, she's saying hello to both of us. Just wondering if you can find out an answer from my parents, Lois and Sherwood, I'm not going to say the last name, about what's going on with the family. Well, first thing I want to say is discord. I feel like there's infighting. Like, come on, where's the boxing gloves? All right. That's the first thing I'm feeling. And I am going to write it down because I'm going to see if a little more information comes out as we're talking, Elaine. But Penelope.
First, I wanted to, just a sec. The card I picked for you is the Knight of Pentacles. Oops, a days. I think first and foremost, the thing that you've got to think about is choose your battle. Stand your ground, choose your battle, figure out what's worth fighting for. And knights always make me think of just that. They're going into battle, they're getting ready for battle, and their job is to protect themselves and to protect the person behind them, their king, their queen, their country. Choose your battle and decide what's worth fighting for.
And I'm also picking up that there might be a little segregation, but as Penelope says, by choosing your battle, that I really don't want to say choose sides, because I feel like you need to have that neutral ground that, people can come to you and talk if they want to, but I'm also saying that they shouldn't be burdening you with all the inner bickerings. And if I hear anything else, Elaine, I will tell you as we go along. So Faye says thank you. Teresa says thank you. Tracy, thank you. Kathy, not only issue. Okay, so Kathy, you're going to have to spell it out for us. And Cheyenne says thank you. You are breaking up so bad I have to leave. You are not coming through clearly and I can't keep up. If there is anything you need for me to know, private messaging me on Facebook. Okay. Amanda. Okay, Amanda's telling her to turn off her Wi-Fi and use data. So Amanda, if you could please let your mom know what we said. And by any chance, Amanda, do you know what issue she's talking about? Because if you do, could you please spell it out for us? That would help, because maybe her Wi-Fi is trying to tell her something, that she has to deal with her own issue, that no matter what we tell her, it's not going to help her find her solution. So if you could hand that on, or if you actually know what's going on, you could let us know. And I don't mean her Wi-Fi. Okay. So Brenda, she says, hello, lady. So let's pull Brenda a card.
Okay, well, for Brenda, I pulled the Page of Cups, I think that is. The Page of Cups. And just looking at the card, I haven't had a lot of time to read these ones. But you see this beautiful mermaid-like creature with a bowl that she's either offering or accepting. So I think that you're at a time in your life where you're going to be offered things, and it's up to you whether or not you want to accept it. And prepare yourself. And if I was a betting woman, I'd tell you have gifts that are starting to come to surface.
Okay. And I pulled the 3 of coins, and this is about acknowledging or allowing people to acknowledge the work you do, Brenda. And again, earlier I said something to one of the other ladies about praising yourself, accepting the compliments when they come towards you instead of, oh, no, it's just my job. And I do feel like there's new things coming, which means, Brenda, you could be looking at a promotion, or you could be changing the job to suit the way you want to see your life now. So it may not be that you're working a 9 to 5. It could be you're working a 9 to 3 sort of idea. So there's definitely going to be a change around you. All right. Lynn, who we talked about her family, she said, thank you both. Your messages make sense and is relevant. Much appreciated. Elaine is saying thank you, that we really hit it on the head. Amanda, yes, ma'am, she doesn't listen. Okay, thank you, Amanda. And she'll PM me later to let me know. So
nice.
That was sort of cute. I always like it when it sort of falls into place. You know, sometimes when the message comes in, it's like, really, am I hearing that right? Should I be saying it a different way? And I see a cat just flew out of the air.
That was my black cat, Oreo.
So sometimes I know that when we say the messages, that's when I'm saying them, I'm just saying them the way I hear it. I try not to color code it, and I try not to sugarcoat it. And I think a lot of people who have been to me know that I'm not sugarcoating anything. But when I'm saying it, sometimes it's like, what? What do you mean by that? And so I hope that when we say the messages, you guys actually understand what we're talking about. I don't know about you, Penelope, but does it work that way for you? Like it's just blew up. I always call it diarrhea of the mouth.
Not quite, but I have a friend that says he always feels like he needs to take a sledgehammer to the message, because the way I speak, sometimes the message comes out and I'm just repeating. So later he takes a sledgehammer to it and figures out what it is that's actually being said. But
Yes.
most times I'm pretty blunt, but sometimes that bluntness needs to be interpreted elsewhere, right?
Well, and we'll answer Amanda's question in a minute, but here's something really interesting, because as I'm talking to you and saying that I just say it the way I'm hearing it and everything, I was thinking, come on, can you explain to me, saying this to universe, what you're talking about? And they basically, I pulled the 8 of Pentacles, and this card says, I dedicate myself to what I believe in. And I really do believe that when I'm getting the messages, I am getting them from someone who loves you and knows you a heck of a lot better than I do. All right. So those are the messages, and I really believe in what I do. This is my favorite job of all time. And I don't actually look at it as a job. This is just a calling. I mean, heck, for those of you who know me, I wanted to grow up and be a police officer. And spirit, God, universe, whoever it is, had different ideas for me. And since I wasn't listening, they broke my leg. That really took care of it. So Amanda has asked us. Her aunt doesn't have Facebook. Asked her to ask us guys if there is a message for her from my dad's half-sister we found out about after my grandma died. So I guess Amanda, you're going to have to clear that up a little. Are you saying that your dad's half-sister is dead as well, not just grandma? And if that's the case, you do need to give us a name, okay? Even though I'm hearing an SC sound, and I don't know, that's Sylvia, Cindy, Sandy, SSS, I can't think of another name, Susan. So it would help if you just define that a little, Amanda, for us so we can have a look. And I am going to just ask if there's anyone on here who would recognize the P sound, like in Paul, Peter, Pierre, preferably dead. Okay, not alive. But if there is a live one, I'll take the message and see if it applies to him. And if you do, for anyone who's listening, you could let us know. And the other name is Tom or Thomas. And Joe is her grandma. Okay. She is from dad's half. Oh, I think I got it. Her aunt is her dad's half sister. I'm hoping that's right. If I'm wrong, you better speak up now. Oh, it is. Okay. So from Mike or Jewel. I think timing was everything. Like when the girl was born, I feel like I don't feel I can raise the child at that point. So I would say that it was necessary. But I also feel like I wanted that connection with the child. So from the grandma's point of view, I would say she's sorry, but it was appropriate at the time that she gave the child up. That is what I'm hearing. Do you hear anything, Penelope?
I pulled a card, but I don't hear anything. The card I pulled is the Four of Wands. And I don't know if you can see how the man is holding all four wands together.
Okay.
In his hand. It's sort of like whatever the decisions of the past, when I look at this card, the message that comes through the cards for me is that now is the time to move forward and stay as a unit. And we can appreciate our family about having members that were adopted out or separated at birth, so we didn't know some of our siblings. And now is a time and point where you just remake your family brand new.
Yeah, it's sort of like the past is what I'm being told. And we can dredge it up. We can get nets and try to gather all the information. But what's happened can't be changed. It's what counts now. Like how you incorporate this lady into your life is what's more important. And I do feel like your dad, it's weird, I'm going to say your dad missed the boat. So I don't know if that means he never really got to know his sister, but he feels like he missed the boat. All right. Oh, that's my cat. Well, actually, that's Ashley's cat, Shadow. Her bed is back there. That's why she's up there. Okay. Makes sense since she kept her 2 weeks before she gave her up. I also, there was a power struggle in this giving up the baby. And it's weird because I don't know if it was the, sorry. It's like she wants to be on TV too tonight as you get her racket. But I'm sorry. It always bangs me up because she does it every time I'm sitting here talking to someone on live TV or something else. Yes, I think she loves it too.
Oh, that's funny.
And she does it all the time.
Yeah, she's got that kind of arrogant look.
Oh, yes. When she's mad, she gives you this look that says, you know, they eat something and die. Okay. So, I totally pulled a blank there. Quick, think of something to say. That's what I can hear in my head. And I'm thinking, what? What am I supposed to say?
But I think you're talking about Amanda. Or talking
yes.
to Amanda.
And we did, and I think they finished it by the fact that there was a power struggle. And I think where the fact that her grandma had to give up her daughter, I feel like it was probably in the best interest of the child.
That I agree with. While we're waiting for someone newer to ask a question, I was thinking of your earlier question, what other tools? And your cat reminded me.
Oh yeah, the cats are tools.
I have 4 cats, and none of my cats are social animals. Absolutely. Usually people come and you wouldn't even know that they're within breathing distance. And especially my gray and white tuxedo. But when he is terrified of people. But every once in a while, I will have a reading where he will just suddenly appear, and he has literally jumped on the table and cleared the cards. And that tells me that whatever was supposed to have been said had been said, and it's time to stop. Because I will gather up the cards, and the other person's very meticulous. They've taken pictures where the cards are, and everything will be laid out, and he'll jump again. So sometimes my cats are very handy tools. They let me know if the message has been upsetting by soothing the person, or just literally clearing the table, and all the cards are on the floor.
Okay, so Elaine, I'm going to answer yours for a minute, but Elizabeth, if you'd like to give us your Nana grandma's name, that would help a little bit more to pinpoint who we're looking for. And Elaine says, you mentioned the name Tom, which I did. Well, that is part of my question. He is the nephew that fawned us almost a year ago. My sister had given him up. Well, I hope you opened your arms to him, because I feel like he's got a lot of energy, and he's very, very lost soul in some aspects, but very much knows who he is. And I don't think he's looking for, what's the word I'm looking for? Like where we go looking and want that person to redeem why they gave us up. I feel like he was okay growing up. And really, your sister, maybe again, it was a case of a struggle of whether to keep the child. But I don't feel like she could have nurtured this child the way he should have been nurtured. But I would say, Elaine, open your arms. What about you, Penelope?
I would pretty much say the same, that it was probably a very difficult decision to give someone up. And then the person who's come to find you, that takes a certain amount of courage. So, open your arms, see where it goes, and move from there.
Okay, so Elizabeth gave us her grandma's name, which is Jenny Elizabeth. And I did think the last time I talked to you that your name was part of your grandma's name, but I thought it was Grace. So there you go. I was correct but wrong at the same time. So my message from your grandma is knowing the power of the word, and be careful in the way you speak it. So tone, vibration, inclination, and what's the word where you make it sound harsh? Well, we'll use that word. Anyways, Elizabeth, it's know your words. Enunciation. Know your words and be careful how you use them, because you are powerful and people do listen. Do you have anything, Penelope?
Just what you said. Words are like double-edged swords, right? When spoken, they can't be taken back. And excuse the moving around. I'm still hand-holding my iPad, and it can take a little while for my hands to move.
I tell you, you need to get one of these arms.
I tell you that as soon as it fits into my budget, but I am budget conscious.
These are great. You just attach it to something, you put your iPhone in there. My daughter bought that for my birthday because I was borrowing hers off her easel.
So I am a very budget conscious person working for a not-for-profit. If I don't need it or it's going to clutter up space, gone.
Okay.
So we'll see.
Well, Cheyenne. Pardon me?
I said Elizabeth Grace says thank you.
Okay. Cheyenne asked if there is a book that I recommend about your gifts and how to use them. There is an author, he's called Ted Andrews. Now, I found him when I was in Scotland in
Well, that's a
19,
long time ago.
19 2004. And I was in Nobles and Baines and Nobles, and they had a rack for cheap books. And I went over and it said, How to Meet and Work with Your Spirit Guides by Ted Andrew. And I thought, it was £1. That at that time it was $2.50. And I thought, I can take this book home with me and read it. Now, I held on to that book for a very long time before I read it. Now, unfortunately, I did loan it out, and I don't think I ever got it back, or else it's packed somewhere and I can't find it. But it was the best book in the world. Like, I read all kinds of books on how to meet and work with spirit guides, and no one really fine-tuned it on how to do this. But this guy, he made it so simple, and he had exercises. Now, I do understand there was a reprint of his book, so you might be able to find it on Kindle. You might be able to find it on Amazon, or if you're really lucky, you can find it dirt cheap in a secondhand bookstore. But that is the book I recommend out of all the books I've ever read.
So for your empathic gifts, I recommend Dr. Judith Orloff. She is a psychiatrist who embraces her gifts as an empath, and she teaches you how to use them, offers prayers and inspirations. And another really good website is actually the website that publishes some of her books and Eckhart Tolle's books, and that is soundsgood.com.
Okay.
I find them very beneficial. They have exercises for mediums and all kinds of people looking to explore their gifts.
All right. So Amanda's asking a question. She has a question that she's always wondered about. Her cousin supposedly committed suicide and attempted murder on his wife. Can you tell me if that is what really happened? His name is Craig. Can you give us a second on that one? I need to just sort of deep dive here, but my first instinct is no. That I wrote it down. I heard no. The suicide part is yes, but the attempted murder is no. Now, did they fight? Yes. So she might have considered it attempted murder. But I'm hearing no to the murder and yes to the suicide. I don't know if you're picking anything up, Penelope.
Well, I pick up yesterday, and I also pick up that this is a question that needs to be about a little more deeply.
Yes,
So
it definitely has to have some more digging.
You know, it's not a question to speak lightly in public about. It's something a little more, for me anyways, a little more private a question. So I'll leave it with you.
Okay.
You know,
Well,
if you want more information, you know, find either of us.
Yes, they're right there are my email and Penelope's email. And I smell rice cooking. And I know it's not me.
Nope.
Because we've already had dinner and it was stir fry. So is someone cooking rice out there? Because if you are, or someone who passed that really likes rice, I literally can smell it, and so can my daughter. It's amazing.
No rice here.
Yeah. Good thing I'm not hungry anymore. All right. Well, does anyone else have any questions they'd like to ask? Because otherwise, maybe we'll wrap it up a little early tonight. Not that early, but it's still a little earlier than normal. Oh, Penelope, I see a skeleton behind your glass case. What's that one?
I have on either side of my fireplace wooden candy skeletons. I use them for protection. I have a skeleton in one window and a skeleton decoration. It's actually a wind chime I keep in my home. I keep several wind chimes, but my skeletons keep the spirits, the negative energy from coming down the fireplace. And did I mention that I like skeletons?
Yes, we sort of gathered that.
But I
Okay.
do. I have several of them. You know, my curtains, my fireplace, and I keep them as part of protection.
Okay, so Cheyenne has asked. She first said thank you, and then she has a job offer that has come up for Friday. I'm going to be working with horses, and I want to know if it will be a good thing for me mentally and physically. And I'm really going to say
here.
yes.
I picked the
Top
Fool.
of the world.
Automatically. The Fool has to be one of my favorite cards. Hands down, any deck I deal with. Because the Fool says, have faith. Have faith. Go for it. Because you're exactly where you need to be at this moment, being offered exactly what you need to be offered.
Yes, and I pulled the Wheel of Fortune, and this is be open to what universe is sending towards you, Cheyenne. I do feel like this could be your universe. This could be exactly what you're looking for. So I would say yes to mentally and physically capable for you, and that you may find you like it more than you realized. Okay, so Tiana, do you see me doing something different for work? Right now, I work in administrative work for the government.
Okay.
Well, first of all, you got to apply for a new job before that could be really a yes. Okay. That's what it says. This is the Seven of Swords, and unless you communicate, and that's putting your application, your resume out there, sure, you're going to be working for the government in that position forever. But the way to get out, if that's really what you want to do, and I hesitate, and I want everyone to remember that whatever we've said tonight, there's free will attached to it. If you don't like it, change it.
Exactly.
But Tiana, put your resume out.
Yeah.
I still think, though, you're going to be in the government, just a different wing of it.
And I chose out of the cards, and I have all my cards scattered on my Chase Lounge upside down. So I'm just randomly picking, and I picked the Magician. And the Magician is sort of like gather your tools, like your resume. You know, if you're a witch, gather your cauldron, all the ingredients you need, and put it out there into the universe, what you want, what you're looking for, and move forward.
But you have to make the action. So even though you can do all that, you still have to put the resume out there.
Well, that's the whole idea of gathering everything and throwing it in the pot.
Yes. So Teresa, she said, when my dad passed, was it peaceful?
Yes, Teresa. And I have a message for Teresa.
Okay.
Your mom came to pick him up in an old yellow bus, and it was peaceful.
Well, I'm going to agree that when he finally passed, it was peaceful, but I do feel like he struggled with the concept before passing, as though, no, I'm not ready to go sort of idea. Okay, and there's some people that just open up and say, okay, I'm ready, take me. And I can name a few who really would like that to happen even now. But when I look at your dad, I think there was I don't want to really use the word doubt, but maybe self-concern that no one would be there. But like Penelope, I agree. Someone, whether it's your mom, they picked him up and he was peaceful. All right. So Cheyenne said, thank you. Many blessings. Have a wonderful evening, ladies. And let me know if you find anything about my guides. All right. Penelope, since we've got a few minutes, did you want to pull a couple of cards for the rest of the week and let people know how you see the rest of the week going? Because this is going to be interesting whether we see the same thing.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay, the first card. Okay, so the first card I pulled is a very busy card, the 9 of Cups. Lots and lots of things going on in this week. Things coming your way, whoever you are out there. I believe that this is a time where rewards are coming, possible increase in money, and maybe even, as much as I hate to say something negative, a little bit of turbulent time that will sort itself out. What about you? What's your first card?
My first card is the Empress. And this one actually makes me think of Thanksgiving, you know, bounty, celebrating everything that's around us. Okay, I'll get it together here. Okay, this is the celebration. This is embracing the rest of the week because we're on hump day and it's all downhill from here in a positive way. But yeah, the weekend could prove a little disruptive, especially if family members aren't playing the game the way we want them to.
Okay, my second card was, there we go, the Hangman. And I like the Hangman because it basically, how I see the Hangman is, if you don't like the way things are going, look at it differently. Turn upside down, view it differently, and take a step back.
Yep. And I got the 10 of Pentacles, which is, again, it's my cards will lead to Thanksgiving. So sorry. So this is about celebrating universe. I mean, think of it. We've come, is it almost 7 months through COVID? And most of us are still sane. And so it's celebrating the fact that those we love are close to us and that we are striving to be the best we can at this particular time.
I think that's a good one. My last one is very, very cool for me. It is the Ace of Pentacles.
Ooh, money.
Is it the Ace?
Yep.
It talks about money, but if you'll see that there's dragon flies on it. And dragonflies talk about spirituality and the visiting of spirits. So, good fortune and good health. So this is the Thanksgiving weekend coming up. As D'Arcy says, we're coming into the tail end of everything. And now's the time for reflection and opening the door to those on the other side who are waiting to send us good messages.
Yep. And this one is the sun. It's actually quite bright. And if you look down, it looks like a chalice, actually. And that you can't tell where it starts or where it ends. So that theory about half full or half empty does not exist now. We should all be full of gratitude. Gratitude for being alive, gratitude for family. And so at Thanksgiving, I am going to ask that everyone say a prayer for anyone who's been sick, struck with COVID, and has either perished or come through it. And be blessed knowing that there is this immense love in society as well as universe, and it surrounds all of us.
Nice message.
So, I hope you all have a fantastic rest of the week. Great Thanksgiving. And so much turkey, you're laying on the floor or the couch going, oh my God, I ate too much. Because guess what? Christmas is coming, and I know by then I will have ate too much. So.
And happy Thanksgiving, everyone. May the winds be at your back, and may laughter, love, and magic be with you everywhere. Many blessings.
Yes. And may joy, happiness, and love find you all in mysterious ways. Blessed be everyone.
Good night.
Night.
Just a sec. What?
Just a minute. Okay, where is it? Where's that? My plugins. Or my cell phone is finally dying. One or the other. Oh, maybe it's this. Oops, wrong one. Just disconnected the internet. So, anyways, that was a little different tonight.
It was fun.
Yep. But have to see what. Hey, the one I posted, because I can never find where to see how many people watch it, that type of thing.
Okay.
The one that
So
I did.
You know how to find it? I'm going to walk you through it while I look for it, okay?
Oh, just a minute. Most of the time I can find it, but it's the ones like the one I did part 1.
Okay, so just.
You know how to find it? I'm going to walk you through it while I look. Just a minute. I have to spell my name. I'm going to be so choked if I have to go to work tomorrow. Hey, you're clawing me, baby. That was too funny. And then I need attention. Okay, let's see how that works. Okay, so when I go to my page, and okay, there's the one we just did, and I need to put a different ending on it if I can. Just give me a second. Okay. Copy. Well, let's do it tonight? Nope. Sometimes it lets me copy and paste things, and other times it doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I'm going to enter this. Just want to see what's going on.
So you found it?
Just one sec. I'm looking for the one that has. Is that you? Nope, that's Sean. I could have sworn I had one that had your name on it. Okay, I'll find it and put it up there. Delete.
The one that had my name on it, like all that came up when I shared it, was just where it says this video is live now.
Yeah. I'll have to find it.
Okay, well that one, the one that you and I did last Wednesday, there were 151 views.
Okay, just a minute.
But you're the only person who will be able to see everyone who viewed it because it belongs to your page.
Okay, so the one we did last week
has 151.
What day was it on?
September 30th.
October. Okay. See, on my end it says there's only 72.
I have 151 views on it, and
okay. Yeah, see, on my end it just says.
And the one that I posted on.
So how do I find, like, even on the one with Sean and I on September 29th, it says 76.
I don't know. I'm not sure because I have like on my page it says 185.
Okay, the one I did October 1st, the one
How to Let Go Part 1.
Uh-huh.
I have 2 comments. So can you see how many?
I will check here just a second, D'Arcy. I'll go to your page.
See, because before I used to be able to see, but it looks like they're only showing me the people that we responded to.
Yeah, I'm not sure. The one where you did the show for the Saturday says you only had 61 views.
On Saturday.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean Sunday?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And the one that was
Thursday says that I had 65 comments. So
yeah, and 82 views. 65 comments, and hey, leave my down person alone. So I don't quite know why you're not seeing it, because I see it when I look you up.
That's just too weird. Okay. Oh well. As long as people are watching it, that's all that matters.
People are watching it. I mean, like last week's show was 185 views, so people are watching it. And I'm sure you're getting extra readings every day.
Oh, not every day. That's too weird. This one lady, Sandra, isn't coming through.
Huh. But I'll tell you what, that Amanda's mother sure has attitude, that woman.
Oh, yeah, she wants us to fix her, and I'm not about to.
Well, even when she said, well, you're not coming through, and yada, 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 and bada, 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 it's like, oh.
Obviously, Amanda is quite used to it.
You know? It's just like, oh my God, go away, woman. Anyways, that was a really cool deck you gave me. Thank you.
Oh, good. I'm glad you.
It's very pretty. Very pretty.
So, I'm trying to get better about doing the hashtags.
Yeah.
So right now, I'm going on here, and I'm going to edit my post.
And what you want to do is, don't forget to go that group that you belong to. You can tag it by saying at what was that called? Weird or yeah, at Paranormal Weird. So you just tag it with the @ sign and the name.
Edit the video. That's not what I want to edit. No, that's not what I want to edit. That's not it, people. Go home. Okay, what did you say?
For paranormal, you want to do the @ sign.
Okay.
Paranormal Weird. All one word.
How do you spell weird?
Let me see.
That's wired.
Weird, I think, is just that. I'm looking for my Word document will help me. WEIRD.
Oh, WEI, not IE.
No, EIRD.
All right. I always spell it backwards. Oh, maybe that's why. Maybe I'm in the wrong section. Nope. Not what I wanted. Oh, I just love it when it works the way I want it to work. Okay, I can close that. Okay, so don't apparently open all the messages. I didn't want them all there.
Okay.
But anyways, thank you so much for coming on,
It was fun.
and we will probably talk to you on the weekend, but we will see you next week too. So
Yes.
do you think you'll be at Courtney's next week?
I'm hoping to. It it depends on how late he finishes up with his contracts, right?
Yeah.
So if he's working late, it might be hard because where we're setting up is his office. But he has everything, right? He's a Mac boy. Mac and Apple man.
Ah.
But he had to work late tonight. So, and then I worked late as well. That I didn't I didn't finish up with I didn't get home till after 4. Just like last night, I didn't get home until after 7. I had work, and then I had a late doctor's appointment. Now, I've got to talk to Courtney about this, but I'm waiting for the weekend. You might want to suggest this for Sean and yourself.
What?
Okay, so there's good cholesterol and bad cholesterol. We all know that,
Yeah.
right? But there's a new test out. It's relatively new. They've only been doing it for a little while, right?
Yeah.
And it tests the liver enzyme. Okay, the liver produces cholesterol as well.
Yeah.
So there is a liver liver cholesterol lipid protein that can be tested, and it's the cholesterol that your liver produces by itself. It's genetic, okay?
Yeah.
And like most livers produce cholesterol, lipid, whatever it's lipid something, and it's okay, right?
Yeah.
But there is also a genetic condition where the liver automatically produces bad cholesterol.
Mm-hmm.
Has nothing to do with your diet, has nothing to do with your exercise, your fat intake, absolutely nothing, okay?
Yeah.
But what it has to do with is you have to imagine this cholesterol that the liver produces that isn't healthy as little ping pong balls in your bloodstream, right?
Yeah.
And it doesn't stick, it hits the artery walls as it's bouncing around in there. And it's a different form of cholesterol than the plaque that forms when you don't eat right, okay?
Yeah.
And these little white ping ball ninjas are like evil little white ninjas. They actually leave a coating on the wall of the artery that can cause a problem that leads to heart attack and stroke.
Well, you'd have to send the name for it because otherwise the doctors will never test for it here.
Okay, well, I'll get the name next time I see him because I'm getting the test done at the end of October, okay?
Yeah.
And he's only doing this because we're trying to figure out how to control these spasms, which are genetic, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that by itself is rare, but this other condition is extremely rare, but it's a genetic condition as well. So I'm figuring that, I don't know at this point whether I do or don't have it, but it wouldn't hurt. If he's going to test it and I do have it, then it probably wouldn't hurt to have you and Sean checked out.
Oh, yeah.
To make sure you're okay.
Oh, I already have a genetic gene that causes cholesterol whether I eat it or not, so I'm sort of thinking I'm already on that list.
So, anyways, this isn't about a gene. It's about the liver producing this. So it could be. Who knows? But lots of people don't produce this defective. Bailey, get out of there. This.
As long as they're not sticking a needle into my liver, I don't care.
Oh no, this is just a blood test, a fasting blood test. But the good news is the last blood test, I don't have diabetes, which I can live with.
Yeah.
But I will let you go because Bailey's busy trying to look for food.
Okay.
She eats all the salmon. She's on a dehydrated salmon and vegetable food, dog food, right?
Yeah.
She eats all the dehydrated salmon out of her dish. And then she waits for hours before she eats the rest of the food. So by the time she's ready to eat the rest of the food, she's hungry again. And she's out of salmon.
Just so you know, my understanding is you're supposed to hydrate it.
Huh. Okay.
Because she could choke on dehydrated food.
Okay, well, I'll do that. But it's just so funny watching her because she literally picks out only the salmon pieces. Don't tell me dogs aren't fussy.
So yeah, I found that out from my vet when we tried to give the cats, because it shows that you can give the cats dehydrated chicken.
Yeah.
And the vet said, "Oh no, you're supposed to hydrate it."
Oh wow. Okay. Well, I'll start adding some water.
Yeah.
Get the dog. Oh, I don't know what it is about Jester, but all my purses and shoes, he is digging his claws into them and using them as scratching posts while I'm in front of him.
Okay. No.
Anyways, I will let you go. It sounds like you have something going on too.
Well, Ashley does. Moonlight's trying to bite her.
Well, enjoy your night and thanks again.
Okay.
Okay, bye.
See you later. Bye.
My jaws actually hurt from clenching my teeth. No, that's not what it is. It's this.
कैसे हो मुंबई? अभी से तुम्हारी खूबसूरती आधारित है पूरे देश की भी। तो लगता है हमारी बेहतरीन कमांडर एमन ग्रीन की वजह से अच्छी सवारी को कम। Okay, so अब दिन का सवाल ये आदाब से है जो साथ है कोलकाता से।
No, from Atlas. As most of you already know, I was born in the central region of Ghana. A town called Accra, some kind of capital city of the tribe. And here we have planted the first seed that will grow on the red planet in the soil from our native land. And behind me is what are the sorry.
Tom is good with technology and he's also a surgeon. He removes healthy milk from better. I'm in charge of crime, basically prepping the patient for cancer. Lou keeps track of the pieces. Very important, there's hundreds of them. We can't lose any, but Lou is perfectly able for the mission, in a good way.
Yes. I
That's it?
am.
Tracy acting as your assistant, as a second set of eyes. And that our lives are at stake and taking every precaution.
Sure. Let's hope you're a bit assistant engineer than a part of that, though. It should be fun.
Let's get